Hi.
Hello again.
Welcome back.
To our podcast.
If you've made it, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay.
That was just the most awkward introduction I think I have ever done.
Probably we're a little delirious. It's hot in Texas right now.
It's hot. My watch says 106 degrees outside.
Yeah, when I got in my car, it originally said 110 because it was sitting outside.
Lovely.
It got a little cooler, and, halfway through my drive to your house, it said 107.
Ah, that's such ideal weather.
Yes, and if you don't know, our grid's not great either. So, electric grid, power grid, whatever.
Really excited for the coming blackouts.
Yes! For those who don't know, Texas likes to be independent, so we're on our own power grid, which in theory is nice, and
in actuality is not.
It's horrible because we can't borrow power from anybody if something happens. So when we had the great freeze of Texas 2 years ago,
oh, good Lord,
and the temperature actually got to zero, which is unheard of in Texas. It got to 0 degrees, and we had rolling blackouts with no heat.
Did you see the meme where someone was like, so Texas can't ERCOT, I think is what it's called, can't stand extreme cold, and they're like, yes, correct. So it has to withstand extreme heat, and they're like, no.
I shared something on Facebook today, and it was like freeze of 2020, and it was like, so guys, grid can't handle the cold, so have fun. And then it said summer of 22. JK guys, the grid can't handle the heat either.
We're just like, you know what? Every man for themselves, and good luck.
So it's going to be fun when our AC goes out and it's 104.
Yeah, already been there, and it wasn't that hot. It got in my house up to 91 degrees.
Yeah, she stayed with me that weekend because her AC went out.
I did, and I am not looking for a round two. So I'm going to need ERCOT and or Texas and or whatever to make sure that doesn't happen.
So that was a tangent, but it could be the explanation as to why we were so weird.
Explanation.
I can't speak.
We are delirious, just for the record, because it is just far too hot.
I am sweating in your house right now.
I don't have great insulation.
It's really hot.
Miss, I keep my house at what, 78?
My house is on 77 right now. I'm trying to do my duty to help the power grid.
70. Okay, mine's at 75, so I think you should be fine.
Also, another side note. They asked us to increase our temperature of our houses to 85.
Super livable.
To help with the usage of power.
Yeah, it was 85 at night when I lost my AC.
I'm sweating.
Jackson almost went into a heat stroke.
So, yeah, I keep checking the grid conditions. There's a website for the grid conditions.
Is there?
Yeah, we're in the green. So we're good. My house can stay on 77.
Wait. You're in the green or we're in the green?
We're in the green.
Oh, you checked me too.
No, it's like the power grid for North Texas,
okay.
Whatever. We're in the green. So when we hit the orange, I might
SOS.
increase
SOS.
my
well,
AC.
I did ask my work about it. I was like, so just like out of curiosity, what happens here? Because like, if there's no power, like no Wi-Fi, I can't work. And they were like, yeah, you'll get some sort of notification. I was like, wow, free PTO. I'm going to my parents' house.
Nice, because they have a pool.
They do, and also they did not lose power in 2020.
My parents didn't lose power either.
Okay, so we're going to Mama Burr's house, who also has a pool.
But also, they live right next to a fire station.
Oh, that's the ones that you have to be on. A hospital or a fire station.
I live really close to a fire station
I live right down the road. Literally, like, I could walk there.
I know. So we've had little blips, not since the heat happened, but like random like power outages that sometimes happen.
That's concerning.
Okay,
I have not had those.
Sarah lives like 4 minutes from me.
Mm-hmm.
She lives closer to the fire station, and she lost power for several hours one day, and I did not. And we live 4 minutes from each other.
I've never lost power.
Okay, well,
shout out to my shit city.
So we did, but not since the summer. It was like May or something.
Oh, okay.
So, we're back. Welcome.
Books. We were here to talk about books and got distracted.
All right. So, we've already talked enough, so we'll do our happy thing at the end of the episode. Like,
yeah.
What's going on?
Ooh, I'll think of one.
Yeah, think about one. Because I already got one in my head. It's not so happy. It's more, whatever. We'll get to it. This week, we said we wanted to read My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey.
Tessa
because
Bailey.
she did so well with It Happened One Summer and captured our hearts.
I gotta tell you, she just keeps doing well.
Oh my gosh. I love her. She might be one of my new favorite authors.
Shout out. Yes. I now think I actually do have to read Hook, Line, and Sinker.
Oh, I know the sequel to It Happened One Summer.
I have to.
Sorry.
After this one?
I need to open my drink. I didn't open it before we started.
ASMR.
Here we go.
Ugh.
That was
Beautiful.
nice.
That's a beautiful
We're
song.
both drinking a Truly's right now.
Not sponsored, but if you want to.
It actually is after 5.
It is indeed 5:20.
So.
It is 5 o'clock. Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
And somewhere else it's 5 o'clock. All right. Now, if you did not know we were doing It Happened One Summer,
Nope.
I'm going to give you a little...
My Killer Vacation.
Oh my God.
We've already done It Happened One Summer. If you're interested in that, go watch episode 2.
Was that episode 2?
Pretty sure, because first one was Neon Gods.
That's right. Okay. If you did not know we were doing My Killer Vacation, I have a little synopsis poo for you. It's a little different from It Happened One Summer, but it's basically a murder mystery with romance and smut.
It is definitely a new favorite genre of mine.
I
was like, oh, wow, okay.
because the true crime lover in me came out, and
Exactly.
I was like, I need to know who did this.
I had a lot of theories throughout.
Okay, so basically, you meet Taylor and her brother Jude. They decided to vacay in Cape Cod. Never been. Sounds pretty.
I've gone in the winter. Nothing's open. Fun fact.
Okay. So they go to Cape Cod, rent a beach house, and lo and behold, discover a dead body. So, enter
Of
stage.
the owner.
Yeah, the owner. Okay. Enter stage left. Miles, the rugged bounty hunter, comes in, and he's basically hired by the murder victim's family to figure out who did it. So, it's really fun because Taylor is an elementary school teacher, and she thinks she knows what she's doing, and Miles is grumpy and wants nothing to do with her, but, like, secretly wants her.
It's 100% a grumpy sunshine trope.
Love it. Didn't know I needed that trope until I read this book, and I was like, I finished this book in one day.
I have Rex.
Oh, good. Send them to me.
It's a trope.
Okay.
I enjoy it.
So, if you didn't know the synopsis, there it is. Let's give it our ratings, and then we'll tell them to stop listening before any spoilers.
5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
For smut, for plot, everything. I loved it.
Yes, I also rated it 5 out of 5 for smut as well. Like, it was...
I loved
or
it.
spice. That's our spice
Spice,
rating,
sorry,
right?
spice.
Our spice, 5 out of 5. Plot, 5 out of 5. All around...
10 out of 10.
A great book with a great murder plot line and the romance. It was good. Very good.
So good. I binged it. Haley was like, are you going to finish it in time? Because I had only gotten halfway through the book as of last night.
She texted me this morning, the morning of filming, that she finished it.
I finished it.
I was like, oh good, so you can actually talk about it and you know who done it.
I know who done it.
Okay, so there's your warning. If you don't want any spoilers after this point, go away, go get the book, go read it, and then come back and listen.
All right. So if you're still here, you know.
All bets are off.
This is it. This is the one. If you did not rate it a 5 out of 5, I want to know why.
I would like to know that too.
I want to know why, like, what is your trope and why wasn't it a 5 out of 5? Because this one had it all for me.
I think the only thing I can picture in my head about why someone say it's not a 5 out of 5. I think it was a little cliche.
It was a little,
But
is a lot of romance novels are.
right, but I liked the clichéness.
Listen, Miles.
I will say it's a little weird for me because I have an uncle named Miles.
I thought about that when I was reading it. I was like, Haley's probably having a blast with this name.
And then it was also weird because I have a cousin named Taylor.
Yeah.
And
I have 3 cousins named Taylor.
They're not father and daughter, but it was like, it's weird when I have family members with those names because then I'm like thinking about them. I'm like,
It was really hard for me in the beginning to keep Taylor as a girl because I have 3 cousins named Taylor. 2 are boys and 1 is a girl.
Oh.
And I was like, Taylor, male. I know it's one of those names that can go both ways.
Is
but
a girl. So I thought about girl the whole time.
I just really thought a Taylor was spelled with an E if it was a girl. E-R.
I've never met a Taylor with an ER.
Anyway, that's my cousin's name.
Oh,
ER.
Okay. I've only met OR for boy or girl.
So any hoosies. Really great book. Okay. Who did you think did it?
Okay.
When we were speculating before we knew.
When we were speculating, for the majority of the book, I thought it was the sister. But as soon as the creepy assistant kept looking at Taylor, and then they mentioned his short stature a couple of times, and I was like, all right, the mayor is somehow involved. But I did not think it was the mayor when they were like rushing over to the house and the mayor was in the sister's house. I didn't think it was the mayor. Like, that was just weird.
Yeah.
I was like, no. And I was like, it's definitely the assistant at this point. Like, it's the assistant.
Yeah, so good on you. It was the assistant. But I also thought it was the sister. I was like, because they kept hinting, they were like, they put themselves in the investigation.
And she said she's like Amanda Knox, and she's not crying.
Yeah, she was hinting. She was giving a lot of hints, which then I was also like, is it too obvious? It couldn't be the sister. So 50% last night, Haley was like, who do you think did it? And I was like, the sister. And then, I don't know, 5% later, I was like, okay, now I'm thinking the mayor, because politicians are corrupt. Enough on that. So I was like, maybe it's the mayor. And then, yeah, I kept, as it was going on, and they were mentioning, like, first off, I didn't realize the mayor was larger. Like, I'm not necessarily saying that, like, I don't know. I didn't visualize the depth in between that this person had to be so small. But they were like, the mayor couldn't possibly. And I was like, is the mayor large? I didn't get that.
Like, is she a tall woman? I think that they were focused on her because she's a woman, and they kept saying the killer had to be a woman. It had to be someone smaller. But then they mentioned that the assistant was, like, scrawny. And
the only reason I didn't think the assistant was because they said Evergreen Corp. And I was like, okay, no offense to young people, but most young people don't even know how to start a corporation. So, and then we found out that the mayor was Evergreen Corp. And I was like, ooh, but then that doesn't necessarily make her the killer, but she would profit if she were the only one managing, and owning the house.
I did think she was more corrupt in my head, but like when they made her speak, like she sounded like a decent human, even though she was doing all this shady stuff. Yeah. But in my head, when they were talking about Evergreen Corp and all this stuff, I was like, she corrupt, she crazy, all this stuff. But then the whole fiasco at the sister's house, I was like, none of this makes sense to me. This, like, I don't think that she's the killer. Like, this is really weird. Yeah. Because she was really just trying to run away. I was like, she's not trying to take people out on her way out. Like, she already killed someone.
I'm just trying to save myself. Bye.
Like, if she already killed someone, I think she would take out more people trying to get away.
Yeah. But I can get that. I get that.
I want to mention something. In our last episode, we were talking about how we wanted older heroines. You know how old Taylor is?
20. She's still in her 20s.
Yeah.
24?
26.
Yeah!
And I highlighted it in my notes because I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, Ashlyn and I were just saying that we needed books with like slightly older heroine that fit our age group.
Yeah, because I knew that Miles was 34. Yes. And I remember her saying, or him saying, one of them saying, almost 10-year age difference. Mm-hmm. So I was like, 24? But 26, at least we're still in the 20s, but at least it's upper 20s.
Yes.
Totally fine.
And I liked that Tessa brought in COVID. Yeah. Because she was like, I'm a teacher who's lived through, like, quarantine or whatever, a pandemic. I was like, yes, girl, we are surviving together.
I, like, actually think that she knew she was going to release it this year and, like, looked at a calendar because she said, because 4th of July was on Monday, we got here on a Tuesday. You know what day 4th of July was this year?
A Monday. Oh, my God, it was a Monday.
And I was like, I think she actually looked at a calendar. Like, shout out to her for doing the research. But, like, she knew she was going to release it this year and, like, lined it up to fit. And I really respect that. The detail.
Chef's kiss. Tessa.
I love her.
Way to go. Way to go.
If you want to be on our podcast, Tessa.
Tessa's like, I got more important things to do.
But if you do, we here, Tessa's. You got to come to Tessa's. No, we can come to you. You just let us know. Anyway.
Where you at? Somewhere colder?
Don't worry, we'll slide into your DMs. Somewhere colder.
What I wanted more information on was Miles's backstory.
With Dante? Oh, sorry. I thought you meant Jude.
We'll get to Jude because Jude threw me for a curveball. No, Miles. Like, they kind of went into a few details, but then like they kind of barely touched on the brother, and I like that the brother came back in and apparently he's like a butch gay guy. And in my head, I didn't, like, they didn't mention that he was married for a long time. And I was like, oh my God, the gay brother's going to come down. He's going to get with Jude. We're going to have like a gay, cute couple. And that didn't happen because the brother was married. So whoops.
Yeah.
I did want more information though
I wanted more information on just everything around Miles. Like, I feel like we got bits and pieces of the case that he, you know, like was a, investigator and like
the
threw in the hat.
kidnapping. Because you thought the kid died at first.
Yeah, and then she went through the archive or whatever and found that, or just Google, I guess.
They found him after a
month.
month.
Yeah, and I was like, well, what the heck? I just feel like there should have been more.
That's a whole lot of stress to put on yourself when you brought the kid home.
There definitely should have been, not should have, I just wish there were more elaboration on Miles' backstory.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you think that Bartholomew was a real man? That got Jude all upset?
I mean, he quickly mentioned that it was a panda.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
He did not mention it until Miles came to the picture. Like, when they were first getting there, and she was like, do you want to talk about Bart or anything? And he was like, I don't want to talk about it. And I was like, okay, Jude's gay. Bart is clearly the ex-boyfriend. Yeah. But then, out of nowhere, they're like, he's a panda.
Listen, it's like a pet, you know? Like,
but Jude is gay. So I was like, they really threw me off. Tessa threw me off.
I'm sorry. I did not get that. I mean, I was not worried. I was like, oh, so, and moving on.
Yeah, which also, where was the resolution with Jude's friend?
Dante.
Was that his name?
Dante.
Okay.
Because of Dante's Inferno is what I thought about.
Ew.
I mean, I don't know anything about it. I just know the name of Dante's Inferno.
I was like, do you like Dante's Inferno?
What is it?
It's a classic book.
Probably not.
It's like the seven Rings of Hell or something.
Maybe a little weird. Oh,
you wouldn't like it.
Never mind.
It's old.
Okay,
so
I do wish we had more information on Dante. Like, what is it that made? Is there going to be a second one? First and foremost, Tessa, shout out. Need a second one. I need more info.
I don't think I've ever read a book featuring two men as like the couple.
No, I definitely have not.
But like, if she
I will. I just haven't.
Yeah, I just never read one. But I think if she made one with Jude and Dante, I'd read it.
Yeah, and they were all like, so Dante. I just need more information. So, like, Dante is this big movie star character out of nowhere.
Childhood friends with Jude.
But, like, he's super straight. But then there was, like, a little bit of leading to where maybe he wasn't.
Right. Like, maybe something happened between him and Jude.
I need
But
more.
He's, like, hanging out with, like, women, like, actresses and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, he cares enough about Jude that, like, he showed up on their vacation doorstep. And he was like, talk to me! And the paparazzi was outside.
And they were only gone for, like, what? A week?
Yeah.
And they had been, not estranged, but, like, not talking for how long?
I don't know.
Several days, at least.
Yeah. Not enough to, like, make you worried.
Especially to go all the way to Cape Cod.
Especially if it's just a friend.
Just a friend. Well, I don't know. I'd probably hunt you down. Would I?
No, but I knew you were taking a planned vacation.
That is true, yeah.
Like, girl, I'm not about to go find you in Tennessee next week.
If you do, it's okay.
Matt's home. My garage door just went off. I could track him.
I wish I had a garage door.
Wish I had a garage.
I wish I had a garage. Details. I have a converted garage. Anyway. Yes, I just want more info on Dante and that whole storyline. And Jude, just in general. Honestly, I just want more backstory on everybody.
I really like Jude a lot. As a supporting character, he was a very good supporting character.
Yes. Have you noticed that, like, I don't know, I'm not going to put a percentage to it, but, like, so many of the supporting characters are gay.
Yes.
Is that a thing? Like, is that...
I think it's because we've had such a change in society recently.
I respect it.
With, like, the growing LGBTQ plus community.
I mean, to be fair, I have more gay friends than straight friends. I mean, maybe not more, but I have a pretty even split.
No, I have more straight friends. But I have, like, a good chunk of gay friends.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. I think it's because our society is changing.
I mean, like, if I need a supported character in my story of life...
I would also want a sassy gay man.
Kevin.
We have one. Kevin.
God, and he and his boyfriend are so cute.
Kevin has a boyfriend now.
Shout out to Alex and Kevin.
He's hanging out with his boyfriend a whole lot. We'll see him eventually.
He actually just texted me today saying we should hang out.
I was about to text him today and be like, do I get to meet your boyfriend?
Yeah, he was like, He said, you, me, Matt, Haley, Alex, and then maybe Jeremy. I don't know.
No.
TBD down the road.
A thruple date? A triple date?
We'll see.
Okay.
What were we on about?
Supporting characters. A lot of them are gay.
They are.
Recently.
I respect it. I do. I've just noticed that it's definitely a trend.
Honestly, when we do... Okay. Quick. We made an oopsie in a previous episode. We said the next Patreon was going to be Credence by Penelope Douglas. We forgot about that one. Sorry. So we decided to make it Praise by Sarah Kate. You'll like it. One of the characters too, we'll record that episode, was transgender.
Yeah.
Did not know.
I respect so many things.
It was so great. Like the way, okay, we'll do it in the other video.
I'm like, don't get into it.
We'll talk about it because it was such a great, okay. Back to Killer Vacation.
Okay. Let's talk about the spice.
It was intense.
Hot diggity dog.
I really, like the amount of times that they almost finished the deed but never quite got there.
I was like, this is some extreme edging that's happening. I was like, this is not going to be a slow burn. And then
it was.
I was like, wow, we are halfway through the book and still
they did a lot of stuff up until that point, but never.
They kept getting interrupted. I am like, that is honestly like not a worst fear, but that's a fear.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I was on my honeymoon reading this book, and Matt and I took like a whole day just to relax and do nothing because we were gone for a week. We were tired. So on that day that we did nothing, I was reading my book, and he kept trying to talk to me at different points. I was like, Matt, stop. They're finally about to have sex. And it didn't happen.
Like 4 times.
It didn't happen. And every time he tried to talk to me, I was like, no, they're about to have sex. He's like, you keep saying that. I was like, because it keeps almost happening.
And it's like really almost there. I mean, we are seconds away.
But that bathroom scene.
Oh, man.
The bathroom scene.
I was like, you know what? I really respect a second grade teacher who knows she likes it aggressive. Or wants to explore that she likes it aggressive. I was like, I respect the hell out of that.
Sorry, the bathroom scene. I want to go reread it again.
Just specific scenes. I'm like,
No, because that was the first time they went all the way.
Yes.
And it was like the shower.
Oh, yeah. And then she like instantly was like, okay, I'm good. Bye.
Yeah.
But then inside she was like, that was so hard.
She was like, I'm never going to have that again.
Yeah.
But that kind of made me, I will say, it made me mad that Miles was like an alpha male. And he was like, I want you. You're going to be mine. He's like, but this isn't going to be a thing, and we're not going to be anything after this. And she took it in stride, and she was like, okay, we're not going to be anything after this.
Lots of mixed signals.
But then he kept changing his mind, and he like, it was a lot. And poor girl, she was trying to keep up with him, and that's why...
We were all trying to keep up with him. We're like, Miles, are you hot or cold right now? Because I am so confused.
Yes. And when the bathroom scene happened, and she was like, okay, thank you for that. I realized, yes, this is what I like. And she walked away. He had the audacity to be upset.
I know.
She walked away.
I'm like, you're the one who literally set this expectation.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God.
It's exhausting. But I think that's honestly like as frustrating as it is. I think that's what makes a good book is the lack of communication because you're like, if only you would just talk to each other. Yeah. And then they eventually do talk to each other and you're like, and here we are. Even though this one was even still a little bit different because they didn't really ever talk to each other. They just kind of were like, so we're doing this thing? We're doing this thing. And then I was like, oh, all right. Okay, I'm not mad about it. I specifically wrote in my notes, first off, I wrote, okay, so when she got whacked in the head, remember when she was at the library, they were going to get ice cream afterwards. Mm-hmm. They were in town. She gets whacked in the head and Officer Grant comes to take her statement. And then him and Miles get into so how exactly do you know you're in a relationship? And she's like, what?
He hasn't said anything to make me think that we're in a relationship.
And like now I actually quoted it. I said, oh, dang it, I didn't quote it. I thought I quoted it. But it said something like, I don't know. It said something like, I'm not going to remember. Okay. Dang it, I should have highlighted it. I'm so sorry. You can always just highlight it in your Kindle
app. How about you don't come
and
then it all shows up on Goodreads. Oh, you can't see my screen. All the quotes that you highlight. Okay. 2 things. He calls her half pint. And I love it. Cute.
Yeah.
But then, oh my God. Sorry. It reminded me of my husband. Not anything crazy. when she's trying to get to know him, and she's like, okay, on the count of 3, we're going to say something that we don't like.
And she went on that long tangent the second time.
Yes,
Ooh.
but she said 1, 2, 3, scream sneezers. And then she said, scream sneezers, people who feel the need to make such a huge, loud production out of their sneeze that everyone loses 10 years off their life. I dislike that very much. You know who scream sneezes?
I do. Your husband.
My husband.
It's getting very dark. But yeah, I do know that it's...
the sun is setting a little bit more.
I've heard it. I almost shit myself in a different room. I was like, what was that?
And when he wakes up in the morning or when he gets out of the shower, it's so weird. He sneezes. And it's like...
I sneeze in the morning, but not like that.
No, you sneeze 7 times in a row.
You're welcome.
We were roommates for many years. I know how she wakes up and sneezes. But no, Matt sneezes and it's like so aggressive. It wakes me up out of a dead sleep.
Yes.
Okay, so sorry. I highlighted that because I was like, yeah, I know exactly what that's like. I don't like it either.
I also loved... I just wrote, in a church? How sacrilegious.
That was pretty raunchy.
I was like, oh, wow. This is happening right here, right now. And then the nuns walked in at the end, and I actually LOL'd at it.
It was very good. I highlighted another quote that I really like, and it was her talking to him, and she said, going to bed with you would be a disaster. You have the emotional availability of a banana.
I remember that. I was like, what is the emotional availability of a banana?
Tessa, there isn't any. Tessa is so witty. Like, their back and forth banter had me actually laughing out loud.
See, this is why I want to meet Tessa. I'm like, is this like your natural personality, or do you like have to think about these things?
I wonder how long she spent thinking about the dialogue.
Great question.
Also, when is a book signing? Are you coming to Texas?
Tessa?
Like, do we have to go find you somewhere? Because I would love to go to a book signing.
Me too. I also said, I love Officer Wright, and then specifically it was toward the end when he said, wow, that's poetic, man. Oh, shit, I need to call my ex-wife. I was like, I love him. I loved him as, like, he's not even really a supporting character. I mean, he is a supporting character, but, like, he's so far down the list of supporting characters.
Yeah.
I just really liked that he was just there in, like, super small snippets, but the time that he was in there was gold.
Yeah, it was very, very good. I'm just going through all my stuff to see what I liked next. I liked when Miles was slowly changing his view, because he was like, I'm never going to be the cookie cutter husband with the kids in the house and everything. But then he had a whole section where he was like thinking in his head that he was going to buy her house and he was going to go to Disney World and they were going to have matching t-shirts with their babies. And I was like, my ovaries are happy.
Yes, and I really, really loved the epilogue. I loved everything about it.
The proposal! Oh my god!
She's like getting naked in the foyer. He's like, there's a room of people literally behind this wall.
But
take my coat.
But she didn't know when he handed her the coat. But like the family also had no boundaries. And they're like, clearly. You do it yet? You guys engaged? And she's in like her underwear and they're like not phased. And she's like, what the hell is going on?
Yes. There was also one sentence at the end of the epilogue, which I gotta say, this is probably my new favorite thing, which I don't see happen very often. Usually they're just like, yeah, we'll just be together forever. And then the last word is like, forever.
What was the...
Breaking Dawn. Anyway.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure the last word in the book is forever.
I didn't actually finish Breaking Dawn.
Well, I just ruined that for you. It's in the movie. It like flips through the pages at the end and then it goes forever, forever.
I only watched Breaking Dawn once. Part 2 once.
Anyways, going back to this. The last sentence where they basically were like, so like they were collecting this collage of pictures on the wall. Mm-hmm. And the last sentence, all it said, which I didn't highlight, but basically said something like, and we continued to collect collages for 60 years. And I was like, oh, my heart broke. I was like, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna actually cry.
Oh my god, do we need to take a break? Do you need tissue?
No, it's gonna be fine.
Blow the tears off. Okay.
No emotions.
She actually is like teary-eyed and crying.
I really love that.
You're welcome. I'm just gonna say this again. I found this book. I recommended it to you and I recommended it to our book club. And they did it. And I'll just say it again. I found praise and I recommended it to our book club and they read it. And you and Laura have both said 5 stars for praise. We just we need Nicole to read it now.
I can't wait to do that one.
Yeah, we're going to do that one next for Patreon. Yes, I just think overall this was such a wonderful book.
Tessa Bailey, my lord.
Yes, and it's nothing extreme. It's nothing crazy. So if you read it, like, there's really no trigger warnings. The only thing...
I mean, murder.
Murder, but, like, the spice-wise... Like, she is a cookie-cutter girl, and she has not had any experience with anything but vanilla. And so, yeah, I wouldn't say there's anything crazy.
I really loved it. Sorry. Yes, agreed. I just wanted to, one more time, I just love that he rode a motorcycle. I don't know why, I just really enjoyed that.
You need to go back to biker gang books.
I do.
I have a few that I put on my TBR that I think
I'm going to have to reread Welcome to the Dark Side.
That one was really good.
I recommended that one to you.
You did, and I read it, and that age gap was a little extreme, but...
I'm into it.
I liked it.
I'm into the age gap, for sure, for sure.
Yes, I've already told my mother about my killer vacation. The only downside is my mom does not have a Kindle. She does have a smartphone, so she can get the app, but she doesn't have Kindle Unlimited, and I really want to give her this book, so I might actually buy a physical copy just so my mom can read it, but then I'm going to keep it.
No, ask for it back for sure. It was, and I love the cover. Again.
So cute!
I think you sent this to me. I saw it first, but I didn't send it to you. I'm sorry. But the TikTok of the one who's like, I just really respect that women can read porn in public and recommend it to each other in public because our covers look like this. And I was like, I also love this for us.
But you know that really, I feel like that trend started with 50 Shades.
It absolutely did.
Because just by looking at the first book, like, you wouldn't know how
to know, because I think it was just a tie. It wasn't anything.
Yeah. But yeah, the TikTok, it was like this girl, she was like, I just love that women read porn in public. And then we'd look at each other and we say, do you like that book? Would you recommend that book to me? You say, yeah, I would.
Yes.
Because all the covers are like that cutesy, almost cartoony looking cover. And looking at My Killer Vacation, you know it's a romance novel, but you don't know how much romance.
Which is also, it's a catch-22, because when you go to the library, because I do, when you go to the library and you're just scanning the shelves and you see the cartoony, we've talked about this before, but you see the cartoony and you're like, I don't know if it's going to be spicy.
A cute,
is it going to be fade to black? Because if it is, I don't want it.
Also, I read a book recently where it was very explicit, but then she would be explicit and then she would fade to black.
Was she trying?
Like round 2.
Okay, I've read one of those where it was just like she was trying to I feel like she was just trying to like keep it under wrap, like not overwhelm the reader with sex. Like, you got a really great sex scene. Now I'm gonna fade to black.
But I will say she wrote it so well. I wanted to read round 2, and she faded to black on me, and I was like, ah. But I would rather that happen than have like the Unhoneymooners where every scene was fade to black. And I was like,
it was really a lot for me.
I'm not going to get into that book again. I shouldn't have brought it up.
I will not be recommending that one.
I almost recommended it to my mom, and then I finished it, and I was like, never mind, you're not reading it.
It was still okay. I think I gave it 4 stars. No. You probably gave it like 2, but that's fine.
I think I gave it 3, because it was well written. But
yes.
The ending and the plot.
So that was My Killer Vacation. And a little snippets of a few other books that we mentioned throughout.
We get off track a lot.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh gosh, have we picked out the next book?
Nope.
Pause. Okay.
We're back.
We should really plan more
next time
for what book we're going to read next. But we looked through our TBR, which is our to be read. If you don't know what TBR stands for, because I did not. Like 3 months ago, I had to ask Ashlyn.
Yeah, I had to. There's like a whole. So we're in all these Facebook groups, you know, and there's specifically in one of them, there's like an acronyms page where you can go and look at. I'll send it to you, and you look at all of the acronyms, because I was like, what in the heck does this mean? I'm so confused.
Because I learned recently that if you're looking for like a certain type of, not reverse harem, but like love triangle.
Okay.
If you change up the letters, it means different things.
It does. It either means touching or no touching.
Yes, which I did not know that.
She doesn't ask me these things. If it's MMF, swords touch.
It means male, male, and female.
If it's MFM,
There's no touching of the men.
No touching of the men. If it's, FFM, FMF.
This makes a lot more sense because I see a lot of people asking for recommendations and they have all these acronyms. And I really see a lot of MMF, but I just thought that meant love triangle. And now I'm like, wow.
It means a bisexual man. That's what that means.
I know this now. But yeah, if you don't want that, you need to look for the acronym MFM.
Yes.
Someone explained it in the comments and I was like, wow.
I just don't understand why you don't ask me more. But
because you work all day.
I'm so sorry I have a job that makes me work all year.
All right, back to next book. Sorry. Next book. We have picked out, it's called Tales You Win by, it's either B or Bia Page. I'll add the picture so you can see it. But it's basically like this girl is the princess of the mafia. Like her dad is like a mafia leader. And the guy is hired to be like a bodyguard. And he's called the Beast.
I'm in for it.
So
I'm ready.
We don't know how.
We have not read this one.
We don't know how steamy it is. I didn't even look to see if there are trigger warnings. So
hopefully not. If there are,
something needs to change, we'll update social media. But as of right now, Tales You Win by B Page.
And our social medias are as follows: Bookaholics podcast. That's it for everything.
Any kind of variation. They're always at the end of the episode. They're in the description box, links, everything. So let us know if you liked this book. Like Ashlyn said, if you did not rate My Killer Vacation 5 out of 5, let us know why. I want to know what you liked the most, what you didn't like about it.
And if there was a specific scene and or anything about the book that you particularly loved that we didn't mention,
tell us. Because we loved this book.
I love this book.
We would want to remember that scene as well.
Yes. So I guess we'll catch you on the Oh!
Nope. Our happy things this week. Or just something this week that we want to talk about. Did you think about yours?
I did, but you go first.
Okay. Mine is I discovered a new app called Yuka or Yucca. And it's basically this app where you can scan anything. Oh, you're not going to be able to see my phone if I show the screen to YouTube. And if you're listening to it on the podcast, you're really not going to see it. It's called Yucca. It's Yuka. And you scan any barcode on like shampoo, soap, whatever. And it basically tells you if it's actually good to put on your skin or not.
Why didn't you tell me about this sooner?
I just found it while I was on my honeymoon.
That is rude that you would.
And I scanned my body wash that says it's plant-based and no parabens, and it literally said bad 20 out of 100 on the score, and then it listed all the hazardous chemicals that are in my body wash.
Oh no, I don't know that I want to do that.
So I'm
concerned.
I just changed my deodorant because most antiperspirants have like the aluminum in them and they're not good for you.
You're gonna tell me Secret's not good, aren't you?
Oh, none of them are good. All the antiperspirants are bad.
Great.
So I did change it to Schmidt's. And I'm wearing like a charcoal deodorant, so I am a little wet because I am sweating.
Oh no.
But I smell good. Because I'm going to try not to get cancer when it's like super easy to get cancer nowadays. So yeah, if you want to scan your products, again, not sponsored by this app, but I have enjoyed it because I've gone through every little thing in our bathroom. And I'm like, I'm about to trash all this stuff. It's called Yucca.
We're not sponsored, but
not sponsored.
If you do want to sponsor us, Yucca, we're here. My happy thing, which you could probably guess because I tell you about everything.
Oh, yeah. Are we going to talk about your...
I'm just going to say
date?
I went on a third date, only a third, but will very highly likely be much more, with a guy that I really like. And it is probably going to definitely go somewhere.
I'm really excited because she called me on her way home last night after this date, and we talked for like half an hour about him. So
I told him about the podcast.
Did you? Oh, God, is he going to listen?
I'm very concerned. I've told him it's really okay if he doesn't.
This is not how I wanted us to meet the first time. I'll see you soon, eventually. Thank you.
That almost sounded threatening.
No, I'm really excited. I do want to meet him. He seems like a catch.
He is really great. So, yeah, that's pretty much the end of the podcast. My Killer Vacation, loved it. Tessa Bailey never misses. So
we
far,
love you, girl.
Out of 2. Chest, peace sign.
Chest, peace.
Gotta explain for the people who are listening.
Yeah,
and not
podcast
watching.
people. Chest, fist bump twice, peace sign. You might be too young to.
I genuinely hope you're not. Please don't be listening to this if you don't understand that reference, don't be listening.
Okay, sirens are going off.
I live right by a fire station.
Someone's yard probably caught on fire because it's so dry.
Probably. Hopefully it wasn't mine.
We're the next California. Okay, make sure you download Tales You Win. Like we said, if it's too bad to put on the podcast, we'll let you know. But that's what we're going to read in 2 weeks from now. So,
yep.
Thanks for joining us. And hop on over to Patreon if you want to listen to us talk about Praise by Sarah Kate. And if you don't want to go there, I still recommend you download the book and read it because it was phenomenal.
So freaking good.
So good.
Okay, anyway, so yeah, have a super great 2 weeks and we'll catch you next Wednesday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.